Hey, Christina Munoz here, aka the Laughing Entrepreneur, and today actually it's a glorious Saturday morning, and I'm actually sitting here with my coffee. Okay, it's a bit of a coffee with Christina moment. However, I am going to be talking about quite a serious subject, okay, because over my way it's actually December. We're coming, or what is it, 12 days till Christmas, very exciting, and you know, it amazed me because a year ago, I had just gotten out of hospital after getting a ketamine infusion. I actually had to go into hospital for 7 days to get this ketamine infusion. And if you know my story, you know that I've lived with really chronic pain for over 13 years. And from pretty much January 2011 until I had the ketamine infusion in December 2012, so almost 2 years, I had sciatic nerve damage and had damaged my discs again, and I was literally in 24/7 nerve pain. Okay, I was housebound. I couldn't sit, stand or walk for extended periods of time at all. I basically lived from mattress to mattress all over my house, often was bedridden as well. We'll get to medical appointments in a mattress at the back of the car, and spent pretty much most of 2012 going through the pain management process, which is really all that means. If you know anyone who lives with chronic pain, or whether you do, they may find this actually very helpful. In fact, this whole post will be helpful. I include 4 videos I recorded last year while I was in hospital about what a ketamine infusion is and so much more. Okay, usually if you suffer from chronic pain, if there's no surgical fix for you, where you've exhausted all surgical procedures, okay, they usually then send you off to pain management. Okay, and pain management basically means they put you on a whole bunch of different drugs. Now, for those 2 years, I was actually on Oxycontin every single day. It was the only way I could get out of bed. Okay, also on endone for breakout pain, and I'd also often need a morphine injection or 2 every month until I had Will actually help me with hypnotherapy to manage it, and then I didn't need it after that. But pretty much to be able to function for almost 2 years, I had to take Oxycontin every single day, endone every single day, and morphine injections as well. And anyone who's been in that situation where you've been on those sort of medications know that's not fun. So then when you go through the pain management process, not only are you then taking whatever medications that you need to take just so you can barely function, okay, then you're asked to take a whole bunch of other medications as well. So that's sort of the process I went through in 2012. And I always knew I was going to get off Oxycontin, okay? I did not want to be on Oxycontin for the rest of my life. You know, it was hard accepting I was a drug addict. You know, my body was dependent on that drug, and that one day I would have to get off it. And yes, a part of me was very scared about what that would be like. So when I had exhausted all of the pain management options, the drugs, there was only 2 things left, okay? And if you suffer from neuropathic pain, nerve damage, because I can't fix it yet, there's lots of great work being done, who knows in the future, okay? Well, once you've exhausted all the drug options like Lyrica and Topamax, you know what I'm going on about here, okay, then the big guns are either getting a ketamine infusion, and if that doesn't work, then a spinal cord stimulator implanted into your back. So come December last year, okay, it was time for the big guns. It was time to get a ketamine infusion. And a ketamine infusion, there's a lot of misinformation about it. Some people don't understand how it works or what it does. And you're correct, a ketamine is a drug, okay? They give it to horses. I know, that freaked me out as well. Okay, it was also used as an anesthetic as of 1968 in surgery. Okay, and ketamine infusions, how they used to do them in the past, was intravenously for a few days, but it wasn't as effective. Okay, so some people can sometimes think that getting a ketamine infusion is just like taking another pain management medication. That's all it is. Well, it's not. Okay, I'm going to tell you it's not that at all. Okay, here I am a year on, okay. When you see the other videos there, you will see I do not have the life that I do now then, because I was very much under the influence of everything. Pardon me. But And ketamine infusion is not about that at all. It's not about replacing a drug with another drug, okay? The whole point of getting a ketamine infusion now, and how they actually do it now, it's a 7-day procedure in hospital. You get attached to a machine. You can watch my videos below that will show you what it's like when I was in there a year ago, okay? And they actually pump the ketamine in little doses, and they increase it over time straight into your nervous system through a deep vein in your arm. Now, the whole point is to remap your nervous system, because you see, all chronic pain is, and you know, pain is fascinating. I mean, I am fascinated by pain, mainly because I've been living with it for 13 years, different degrees of it or what have you. And people perceive pain in different ways. Some people are far more sensitive to pain, okay? Other people aren't. There are people on the planet that don't feel pain at all. And those people are actually being studied at the moment, okay? And that's a whole, I mean, you be thankful you do feel pain if your body feels it in a normal way, okay? Because these poor people, I mean, I saw one girl who her teeth were taken out when she was 2 because she kept chewing on her hand and literally biting through her own thumb, but she didn't feel any pain, so didn't stop it. So the only thing they could do to stop her from, like, literally, you know, biting her fingers off was to actually take her teeth out. Imagine that, okay? So it might think if you live with pain, it'd be great to not ever feel pain, but actually no, pain's there for a reason. It's to protect you. It's to let you know something's wrong. It's a warning. But what can happen sometimes is if you've had some sort of trauma, okay, whether it's through a work cover incident like me, or whether, you know, you're in a car accident or motorcycle accident or whatever it may be, the pain, your pain pathways in your brain, okay, can actually start forming in only 3 weeks, okay? It only takes 3 weeks for pain pathways to form. And some people are more susceptible. I'm just one of those people, it turns out, okay? It could be because I was a prem baby. I was born almost three months prem, and I saw a documentary that said prem babies can be more sensitive to pain when they grow older, because of what they do to prem babies when they're little. Apparently, you know, that could be why. I don't know why. It's just what it is, okay? So there's no use really beating yourself up about it. If you suffer chronic pain, okay, it's a matter of understanding why that is, okay? And all it is your brain is still shooting signals. Even when the injury is healed, for some people an injury has actually healed, it still sends the signals. Even if you have the damage there, whatever it may be, it just constantly keeps sending the signals. So what a ketamine infusion does is it remaps the nervous system. It reboots the brain, okay, to switch off those signals. So what's happened, like in a whole year, when you watch those videos below, in a whole year, was it worth getting the ketamine infusion done? 7 days in hospital, attached to a machine, you know. Well, for me, my main goal when I got in was just to get off the drugs. I just wanted to get off the OxyContin, and you'll hear that when you watch the actual videos. Okay. And, you know, I didn't believe it would work on the pain, but it did. Okay. I had pain actually for a few months, but it was very low level, like 2, and I was absolutely wrapped with that. But it meant after the ketamine infusion, I was able to then start rehab. Well, first I had to spend a couple of months just working up to being able to walk for 4 minutes around my house. Okay, so I literally, after 2 years of not being able to, had to learn how to sit, stand and walk again. Okay, that was just a reality. And then it was late February, and then by March of this year, 2013, I was able to start rehab. And from there, I was able to start building some more strength, and, you know, have even managed to be able to go overseas twice, to the USA, to Denver and Orlando, which I never ever thought in a million years would be possible. And in fact, it was around the time I started rehab where I didn't feel any pain at all. Okay, literally did not feel it was incredible. And for most of this year, I haven't had that nerve pain. And when I had that nerve pain, it was like an electrical cord wrapped around my neck, and my leg, my right leg, just burning, and there'd be radiation, and my foot would burn all the time. It was just constant. And for pretty much for most of this year, I haven't had that. So no one would actually know anything was wrong with me unless they actually live with me. Now, the reality is, ketamine's not going to fix a damaged nerve or whatever's wrong with you, okay? My discs are damaged, I've got the sciatic nerve. It's something I'll have to manage for the rest of my life, okay? But what it can be is as close to a cure now, where someone will not know there's anything wrong with you unless they live with you. Let me just take a little break. My throat's getting a bit sore. Okay. And what I mean by that is I can't be on my feet all day, all night. Okay. I have to pace myself. I can sit, but not for 15 hours straight, you know, and who would do that anyway? But, you know, I have to really, really, really pace myself. And I knew that when I got the ketamine done, that it wouldn't last forever. Okay. And they couldn't tell me how long it would last. For some people, it lasts a few weeks. For some, it lasts a few months. For some, it lasts a year. For some, it lasts 2 years. Usually, it's between 18 months and 2 years. And in my case, how it's been going for me, I probably noticed, it was just before Orlando, so it would have been a few months ago. I started noticing that, yeah, it was wearing off. I had a bit of a flare-up. I started going to the gym. Great. Who thought I could ever go to the gym? Okay. But unfortunately, I did too. And I actually think I maybe brought it on. You know, maybe it wouldn't have happened if I hadn't have done this. So here's a little tip. Okay. I was actually in the gym, had started the gym. And a couple of it was a special gym for people with chronic conditions, you know. So I was given this whole routine. And I was doing the routine, and I could do it. I'd be fine, 45 minutes, wonderful. I'd come home, and my whole back would go into spasm. It would just go into spasm. And it'll take all night to settle it. And I still kept doing my routine until the third week when I started noticing I was getting the nerve pain back again in my leg. So then when I saw my physio again, I explained that what was going on. And because I just thought my back just needed to get used to it, you know, 2 years of inactivity really, because I've lived with chronic pain for years. I just thought maybe my body just needed to get used to it. My back just needed to get used to it. And she said, no, you should have stopped. And basically, I think what's happened there is it sort of triggered it. It started it again, okay? Because when you're more susceptible, okay, it can trigger things. So little tip, okay? If you've had a procedure, whatever it is, doesn't matter what it is, and you've gotten to a point where you're not living with that pain anymore and you start doing gym routines, if anything triggers any sort of pain, stop. Don't keep doing it. Okay, so there's a lesson there. But anyway, after that, I sort of was able to sort of recover as much as I could from it. And then I was sort of okay for a little bit. But then it went downhill again a little bit, you know. So for the last month, it's been rather up and down, up and down, up and down. Like I've had a few flare-ups, this, that, the other. But even so, you know, even in saying this, I am a million times better, you know, compared to how I was before I went into the ketamine infusion. Okay, so what I'm actually doing now, because I know, yes, it seems it is wearing off. Okay, either I brought it on or whether it's just starting to wear off. And just so you know, it's a drug that's pumped that remaps your nervous system, but it's not something that you feel mentally all the time. Absolutely not. You know, you don't feel it mentally at all once you recover from it. You know, once you recover from the effect of it, it's like you're not on any medication, because you're not. All it's done is just remap things, but the impact of it can eventually wear off, is more what I should probably say. Okay, so I'm actually, you know, going to be seeing my pain management doctor again and discuss going in again to get another ketamine infusion, you know, before the pain levels do get to the extreme levels, you know, just to discuss my options there so we can get that done sooner rather than later. And, you know, for me, just the year on, I just feel so grateful that something like this exists, you know, because I was told by my surgeon, before I even started pain management, the first year, 5 months after I had surgery, you know, when he told me I had the nerve damage, and he said there was an 80% chance of that because my nerve was so compressed, he got it out, but just barely. You know, he said that was as good as it was going to get. You know, that you know, I should be grateful that I didn't have a terminal illness. And at that time, you know, I couldn't sit, stand, or walk, you know, for long at all. And to think that was going to be the rest of my life, and all they could do was send me off to pain management and, you know, just learn to live with it, basically, it was just full on. It was one of the most horrible days of my life, really. And it's just not true. Okay, it's just not true. And so as I went through the pain management process and then eventually got the ketamine infusion, it worked. You know, for me, it worked. It works for two-thirds of people. And as scary as it may seem to actually get it done, okay, it's not that bad. And you'll see what I mean when you go through It is so worth it. I will happily go in once a year, every single year for the rest of my life and get it done because of how it's worked for me. You know, one day they might have something less evasive. Okay, great. Okay, but I am just overjoyed that there's something absolutely now that can actually work. Okay, so, you know, here I am a year on, you know, I couldn't be happier. And even though I'm looking at going back in, that's okay. That's just the way it is. And I'll just roll with the punches. And I encourage you to do the same thing too. So if you're watching this because you've got chronic pain, or you know someone who suffers from chronic pain, and maybe you've tried absolutely everything, but you're too scared to try the ketamine infusion or the big guns because you don't want to go through that and just have not that work, don't, you know, just stop. Let that go and do it, because it could work for you too. You know, it's changed my life. It's let me get back alive. You know, when you can't move, when you can't sit, stand or walk, you don't have a life. You know, you just don't. The way I can explain, I sort of lived in my head, especially when you're on drugs and everything. You're just trying to do all of that too. And I just sort of lived in my head for 2 years. I just tried to get through each day. That's not living. Okay? That's not living. And okay, no, I can't run a marathon just yet. And no, you know, it's unlikely I'm ever going to be a skinny winnie if I'm not able to exercise, because I love my food. If I can't exercise to burn enough food, well, you know, all these things, they're just some of the things you're going to have to deal with. You know, I may not be able to get onto roller coasters anymore. That's okay. I did that when I was a kid. There are still going to be things you're not going to be able to do. But you know what? I love what I can do. I can go for a walk around the block most days. Okay, most days, not every day. That's one of the reasons why I want to go back and get another one. I want to be able to walk every single day again. Okay, but still I can walk around the block most days. Okay, I can sit for dinner. I can sit for work most days. You know, I only have to sort of manage it more in the late afternoons, evenings at the moment, and that's because really I need to get another one done, you know. But even so, for most of this year, this whole entire year, it's been like a miracle. It seriously has. And, you know, most of all, being able to get off the OxyContin, even if it hadn't have worked on the pain, even if all the ketamine infusion had done was just take over from the OxyContin, that would have been enough for me. You know, I woke up, and so, you know, day 7 on the video there, I did think that I would get over the withdrawals within a week. That's not true, okay? I misunderstood. Okay, they actually went on for 3 weeks. It was hell, okay? Oh my. And prepare for that. It's hell. Bring your music, be around a supportive environment. You'll get through it too. It's okay. And but to wake up, like it was literally January 1st, I'll never forget it. I woke up and it was just like being reborn again. You know, it was just like flying above the water again. It was just to be able to see properly, literally, like everything became more vivid, like colours more vivid, people more vivid. It was like a little bit like being reborn again, a little bit, because I did feel like a big kid the whole entire year. I felt like an alien really that had just landed, because so much had changed in 2 years. I go to a shop, how you pay for things change. Everything's changed. I'm amazed I managed to be able to get myself to the USA and back by myself, considering I haven't been living for 2 years. I sort of lived in this bubble, you know, I literally went from living in a bubble, you know, to then suddenly going off to Denver and being around 6,000 people. It was just mind-blowing. Okay, can you imagine that? Oh my God, it was mind-blowing, and I never imagined it could ever happen, but it was just crazy. I was sort of catching a plane for the very first time overseas when I had been on mattresses for 2 years. It was surreal, okay, but it was also wonderful and magical. And I wouldn't change a single thing. It was just been the most glorious year, because I never ever thought I would have that. I thought I would be stuck on my mattresses all over the floor for years. 3, 5 years, 10 more years until there was a cure. So if you know anyone who suffers with chronic pain, if you know anyone who suffers in particular with neuropathic pain, and there's no surgical option left for them, and they've been sent off to pain management, Well, get them to watch this video here, then get them to watch my other 4 videos about what a ketamine infusion is like. They're the videos I recorded back in December 2012 when I first had them. And tell them, face your fear and just get it done. It could change your life the way it has mine. And if you have to do it every year, who cares? Okay? And if it doesn't work, oh well, at least you gave it a go. Okay? At least you will know it didn't work. At least you know that you tried it. Otherwise, you'll always wonder, will it work for me like it did Christina? Okay? Maybe it will work like it did for Christina. Okay? You won't know until you give it a go. And being someone who's lived with pain and that sort of level of pain, I want to wish that on my worst enemy. Not that I have a worst enemy, but I wouldn't wish it on anyone. Okay? And when I know that there is something out there now that could help you, that the way that's helped me, yeah, I've just got to encourage you to try it, you know. And if you do, and it gives you the relief that it has for me, let me know, you know, and feel free to share this video with anyone you know that suffers from chronic pain too. So that's it from me now. I'm going to finish this coffee because it's probably getting cold. Okay, so nothing about business today. Okay, nothing about business. I like to share marketing tips and other things usually. This is very different. This is about you changing your life, you know, of you helping people who live with chronic pain, because we all know someone who does. Okay, so that's part of my message really, that you do not have to allow chronic pain to stop you from achieving anything. You know, I lost my job over it. That's why I got online. I lost my job over it. It was on sickness benefits because I couldn't do 9 to 5 anymore 13 years ago. Okay, then I couldn't sit, stand or walk 9 to 5. You know, my back would just spasm, I'd collapse because I had bulging discs and a bunch of other things. Then prolapsed and needed a surgery. I get it. I know what it's like. Okay, and people look at you and they think, well, you don't look like there's anything wrong with you, but there is. And people don't understand back pain unless they live with it or have it or know someone who does. You know, so I just want you to know that it doesn't have to stop you from achieving anything you want. Okay, it doesn't. You can actually be a blessing in disguise. It has been for me. Okay, it's moved me into new ways of work. It's helped me meet new people. It's helped me do so much that I never would have done if it hadn't have happened to me. So don't lose hope. Go to see your pain management doctor and find out if a ketamine infusion could be for you, and have a look at the other videos below so you can see more what it's about and what it's like when you're actually going through it. Okay, and then when you've actually gone through it, you can come back and watch this again and you can see the difference. Okay, because you could see the difference, because you could feel this alert, this alive, this drug free again. If I can, you can. Okay, well that's it. I'm going to go finish my coffee, and then I'm going for a walk actually. I'm going for a walk, okay? I know, that's like a miracle in itself if you live with chronic pain, isn't it? I used to get excited when I could get back from the toilet and back without, you know, flaring it up and where I would need an endo. Okay, so to go for a walk, just a simple walk around the block, to me is just a gift in itself. So if you have not been able to do that anymore, I get it. I used to be able to dance 4 hours non-stop, you know. I used to be able to walk 8 hours a day. I get it, okay. But you can get it back too, okay? At least where you can go for half an hour. If I can go from where I was, you can get where you need to go to, no matter how severe it is, because really, mine's pretty severe in my back, you know, so very few people would have the sort of damage I do to the degree I do, unfortunately, you know, which is good. But so no matter what the damage is, you can, ketamine might help you too, so just do it. Okay, well that's enough. See you later, and I'll be back again soon. Bye.